Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode number 2 of the Becoming a Gentleman podcast. My name is Christopher Linkenbach, and today's episode is entitled Heal the Boy and the Man Will Appear. Now, that is actually a quote from Tony Robbins in his movie I'm Not Your Guru, and that is originally where I came across this idea of really healing the boy to allow for that man to appear. And I also want to start you off with another little quotation that I think really sort of sets the mood as to where we're going to be headed today. So this quotation actually comes from Carlos Ruiz Zafón, who's a Spanish novelist. One of the pitfalls of childhood is that one doesn't have to understand something to feel it. By the time the mind is able to comprehend what has happened, the wounds of the heart are already too deep. So, as I sit with that quotation, it kind of reminds me that there are aspects of who we are that exist in our unconscious mind that we are not completely aware of. And if you are a man, or even a woman for that particular matter, and there's a part of you that feels inadequate, or that feels that you are not good enough, or that feels that you need to prove something or acquire something in order to feel complete, then there are aspects of who you are that are not healed, that are wounded and are asking for your attention. Excuse me real quick, I'm going to pour myself a little brew here. But with let's see if you can hear that in the mic. Does that sound cool? I hope that sounded good. A little ASMR for you. So with these, one thing we need to get straight. One thing we need to get straight right off the bat is that our subconscious mind remembers everything that has happened to us. Our subconscious mind actually remembers what it was like to be in the womb of our mothers. It stores it somatically within the body. Our body carries within it memory, imprinted memory of certain energies and experiences that have happened to us. I've actually had that experience where I've had to go back into the womb and heal some aspects of my subconscious mind that had been running my life for so long due to some traumatic experiences that I had in the womb. And what's interesting about these experiences is that there are a lot of experiences that we don't have a conceptual memory of, yet the body still remembers it, right? And a lot of experiences happen to us when we were children because we were in such a vulnerable state of being. When we were children, we had so much energy. We were open, we were connected, we were so trusting of everything around us. And as we slowly started playing and, expressing our vulnerability as a child, there were moments when the universe or certain individuals might have done something that would have caused one of our greatest emotions, shame. And what shame is as an emotion is it is actually it isn't necessarily good or bad. Shame serves a purpose. And the reason that it is here in our human experience is because it has helped us with our survival. If it did not in some way help us to survive for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, then it wouldn't be here. Shame does serve a purpose. It helps to condition us into certain aspects of social behavior, and it helps to it's a guiding rail. It's like if you're bowling, shame is the guide rails that kind of helps you, the bowling ball, to bounce around to hitting the strike. And there are aspects of shame that are completely debilitating. And I think one inference, something that we can decipher about shame, is that shame and guilt are two different emotions. With shame, we have the emotion and the understanding that in some way I am bad. Guilt, on the other hand, is I have done something bad, right? So with guilt, it's a little bit easier to get over just because you aren't internalizing that in the same way. You've done something bad, which may bring up shame because it is part of your belief systems, but the guilt in itself is a little bit easier to manage because you don't necessarily identify it. Whereas with shame, it is the understanding and the feeling of I am bad, I am wrong, I am unworthy. And ultimately, it's the understanding that I am unworthy of love, which is what we as human beings so desperately crave. We are a very, very connected species. And even though as men and as individuals in general, it's important to develop a sense of self-reliance, we are social creatures. Our brains are literally designed to communicate and to be social and to be around other people. And what's interesting about the emotion of shame is that shame is usually transferred from another individual through sexual abuse, through child maltreatment, such as beating a child, through shaming a child for not doing well at school, or whatever it may or may not be. That shame is typically carried from an individual and it is passed on to another individual. And shame is an emotion of hiding. And because it is an emotion of hiding and it is an emotion that was given to you by other people, shame is healed through revealing oneself. Shame is one of the emotions that we can handle some of it on our own, but in order to fully heal from shame, that involves exposing who we are and becoming vulnerable to other people. It involves showing up as who we truly are in each moment. It involves living your truth. And that is an extreme level of vulnerability, because in that vulnerability comes criticism and the opportunity to get rejected. And if you are living from a place of shame, then you are always on the lookout from being rejected, and you are always trying to please others because you want their approval, because you have not given it to yourself, because you are holding back due to that shame, due to those beliefs that I am unworthy of love, that I am not good enough to feel good, to be, whatever it is that you're looking for. And so it's important to understand that as we are children, we go through certain stages of development. And so we go through stages of development as an infant, as a toddler, as a preschooler, a kindergartner, all the way up through, college. And I believe our brain doesn't stop developing until around age 25. And so we are constantly developing through different parts of our psyche. And if we have a wound or traumatic experience, or in some way we didn't get the needs met at certain stages of childhood development that we needed, then there's a part of ourselves that is still trapped in that place. And if it is still trapped in that specific area of childhood development, then we are handicapped from moving forward into deeper realms of becoming an adult. And even though we are to be connected to and a part of our inner child, it's also important that we grow up and we learn to navigate the world as men. And this brings me back to the quote that I spoke about in the previous episode, which is that you are born into this world a boy, and age and becoming a man is just a matter of age, but becoming a gentleman is a matter of choice. And that choice of being a gentleman really does stem from the choice to feel what is happening in your body at any given moment. It is the choice of honoring the present moment and whatever is showing up for you in that instance, no matter how painful or how ecstatically joyful that is. It is not to shy away from the ecstasy, and it is not to run in fear from the sadness and the grief and the sorrow as well. And it is to be with and to honor the present moment. And the only way to truly be free is to feel, right? Our hearts are either constricted or open, and we close our hearts in an attempt not to feel what is happening inside of us. And just as with a kinked up hose, once you start releasing that valve, it just slowly starts opening, and it becomes a practice of relaxing your heart and just allowing that love and those good feelings to flow, even if there is something else that is present there that you may not be enjoying, right? If you are averting that, If you are in some way pushing that away, then your heart is going to close. But if you are able to just relax, take a deep breath and open up into your heart and just allow it to flow, this is your natural state of being. This is who you can be when you are in alignment, when you are present to the moment and present with your emotions and in a state of compassion and love for yourself and the world around you. You have to feel it to heal it. I think that's the biggest takeaway is in order to truly step into your masculine identity, you need to be with and heal that little boy that was frightened on the playground, that was scared talking to girls. You need to be with that part of yourself and learn how to give it love and compassion. And it's from that space of learning to give it love and compassion that you're able to hold that masculine structure and enclose that little boy, that aspect of who you are. And it's really learning how to be a man for yourself that allows you to step into that masculine identity and become a man for other people as well. I keep hitting the microphone, so I apologize for that. I think something that I like to say when I notice that my inner child is freaking out is just kind of giving my child that little security, daddy will take care of it. You don't need to worry. I'm here for you and everything's going to be okay. And it is from that place of security that we as men get to give our truest gift to the world. Our gift of security and deep presence and the knowing that everything will be okay. So thank you so much. A little bit of a shorter episode today, but I just wanted to dive into that concept and really express that in order to truly become and step into our roles of being gentlemen and being protectors and lovers in this world, that we do need to face certain aspects of our psyche that need us and that are asking for our love. So I commend you for the work that you're doing, and I'm wishing you courage on your path. So yeah, if you would like to speak more about any of this, I am here for you. Feel free to PM me or DM me, and I'll see you in the next one, all right? Peace.